Ladies and gentlemen, a warm welcome to my podcast. At Wienerberger, we believe in communication, and communication in these days is key, not only with the outside world, but also with our employees. And that's why it's a great pleasure to have Jörg here with me. Jörg Reinhold is with us for quite a long period of time already, Jörg, right?
Quite some time, over 8 years already.
Over 8 years in different functions. And now you obviously look after also our new ventures. And we'll talk about this also in a minute because it's very interesting what we do as a company in different fields. But in the area of communications, we have set up quite I would call it a revolutionary system which we use these days. And we'll describe it a little bit, Jörg, what we are doing here in the World of Wienerberger app.
Yeah, the World of Wienerberger app is our way to connect all our employees, our customers, our stakeholders. And every day we are in contact with so many people. And this is more than an app, I would say. It's really an infrastructure of modern communication. We share stories, what happens in the world of Wienerberger. We connect with our customers to understand also their needs, but also share new innovation, get people excited, and of course, connecting every day what's going on.
And I think especially in a world that is changing so rapidly and fast, and where we are having such a lot of information to digest every day, it's good to have this sort of platform of communication. And if I understand it correctly, and I'm also a user of it, actually, it's a community-based platform, right? You create your own communities.
Absolutely. We are a very local company, so every plant has its own community to connect. Last year, for example, I've seen events where we had more than 500 people on a local plant site. Yeah. And that's typically connecting customers, families, friends of plants. And this is really for us a way to connect in a very different and direct way. And community, it's all about sharing. Sharing is caring, as the English say. But it's not only about telling our story, it's also about getting feedback. Yeah? Getting feedback from customers, also from employees. How can we improve? What can change? And that's what community is about. It's about engaging content and not only one-way direction.
Not to underestimate, we're a manufacturing business and there are more than 70,000 people working on the shop floor. So it's also about sharing information. It's also about sharing of knowledge and know-how, especially from an older, experienced generation to a younger one. And I guess those sort of systems will help us, hopefully, to do so across nationalities, across language barriers, to really share this information with other people in the company.
Absolutely. It's when we look at health and safety, we have a lot of experienced people who share best practices. How get you people aware of the challenges and the risks of everyday work? And some of our experienced people, we have really great stories to share. One is from the UK, it's called Ask Gordon. One of our experienced employees kind of connected his knowledge and made it available through technology to the wider employees. And I think that's interesting for many people to understand that it's much more than communication. It's really about getting engagement.
And it's extremely helpful, especially when you want for a very precise meta information. Manufacturing is a good example. We run kilns for brick factories or extruders for pipes. And if you have here specific questions, as you mentioned, you can ask Gordon, for example, and he gives you an answer on that. Yeah?
Exactly, yeah.
So this is, I think, very important. And I think the other interesting aspect, it's a made in Austria sort of tool that we use here, right?
Yes, we're extremely proud to be very independent, create our own infrastructure, have the data sovereignty on it, and that allows us also to give power back to the moderators of the community. Yeah? So it's about really giving plant managers or experts, our biodiversity ambassadors, the possibility to connect. Yeah? And we own the data, and and we are not influenced by algorithms. Yeah? In today's, it's a very noisy world. You don't know what you actually see on the social media platforms. Yeah? It's steered by algorithms, and so it's sometimes very difficult for us to connect directly, also with customers. And that's different on the platform. So it's real ownership by the moderators and the community hosts. And they can then decide together with their community what is relevant content, and it will be immediately visible without distraction or destructive content and annoying content.
And I think, Jörg, this is something to be mentioned to our listeners, that in the company and also outside the company, that this is a first that a group like ours really has now control of the data, and really protects people who share the data here, and we don't just send it off to some place nobody knows who is after the information and uses the information. I think this is a very critical aspect, and I think, as you said, we're all very proud of having achieved this.
Yes, absolutely. Normally, people tell you, you're not able to build that in Europe, right? And we said, yeah, we can do it. Yeah? And we've seen over the last years when we tested it that the technology at the end is not the game changer. It's about the content you share and you create. But of course, the technology has to be at a certain level. So everybody is, using it very, very easy to access it. And that's what we've achieved. And now it's really about, getting it out, getting interesting content on the platform. And maybe that's also one area where we are sourcing trusted content from our partner channels or our own channels. But make it also available to partners if they have interesting stories to tell, to connect. Yeah.
And I think this is something which must not be underestimated. We are embarking here on a journey, and it's a first. And if you take our communities that we actually talk to and work with, these are thousands or 100,000s of installers that we can reach through this, and then we can offer this exchange platform throughout more than 30 countries, right?
Yes.
It's an enormous, powerful tool here.
I mean, we have calculated that we are in contact with probably 1 million people every day across the world, right? And people which are getting in contact on our products, on our production sites, of course, our partners and stakeholders we work with. So it's an enormous potential. And if we take that potential and connect directly every day, then information will flow faster. Yeah, people will see what's possible with our products and solutions. Only one example, our construction robot is making now the way across Europe. And sometimes I'm still surprised when people tell me, we have not seen this. Yeah? We were not aware that this exists in Europe. And so there's still a way to go. But if we take the opportunity, connect directly with our customers every day with our stories, there's huge potential.
And this shows also to our listeners that Wienerberger is not by no means an old industry, an old company. We're very progressive, and as you say, we started with communication here, not only from the inside but also the outside, to open up to, as you correctly pointed out, to millions of people, and to share with them not only the progress, innovation, but also helping them install our products, as simple as that. So it's, I think, a variety of issues, or as you have explained, helping our colleagues in the company on the manufacturing side, sales side, development, whatever.
Yeah.
So great job.
Thank you very much.
But actually, at the end of the day, Jörg, that's not the only venture where we are in right now. We are doing a lot of other things as well, right?
Absolutely.
You mentioned robots, for example.
Yeah, our robotic part of a new venture, Greenbuild, we have done a very successful commercialization in the Czech Republic. Alone this year, we have entered 4 or 5 new markets by demo projects, really construction projects, where we delivered with our robotic team, sizable projects. And now we are about to scale it up. So more markets are ready. We see there's a huge demand from customers. What's interesting actually is that especially the Eastern European countries already, they have this need for labor skilled labor. So they feel the labor shortage much earlier than the Western European countries, but it will come there as well. So the demand is there, and I can encourage everybody to look at our website, green.build, to see the projects we are doing, to connect on the community platform now, or see one of our demo events.
What you're saying is interesting. I was last week at the European Commission. There was a lot of talk about the development of construction and how we should innovate construction as such. And people were talking about off-site manufacturing and those things. And then there were strong advocates also from the building industry as such that on-site modular building is the future, because you save a lot of energy and are very much limiting sort of the environmental negative aspects by driving around with trucks, etc. So I guess it's a good sort of thing to have this green build robotics on site, where you can really work with the guys on site, as you say, less people, very fast, and use a lot less of the other materials that you would normally use on the construction site.
Yeah, we know. I mean, today it's a hybrid world. Yeah? So you do things in prefabrication. We have our own prefabrication plants. But we also see that there's a huge potential for the on-site automation and robotics. And that's where we have started with our green build offering. And what's interesting is that a lot of those manufacturers of robot arms always said it's not possible. You cannot go to the construction site. It's cold, it's messy, you have rainy days, but we have proven we can do it. Yeah? And I think that's just the beginning. Yeah? There's more to come. And I can tell you that some of our technology partners are watching us. They want to see if that goes really now in a scale up in Europe, then of course it's a huge potential also for the technology to be on much more construction sites across Europe, and not only in factories. Yeah?
This is one aspect. We have others on the water management side. We have others on the roof with solar and sensor techniques. So there's a lot going on. I think you and your team, you have great work in front of you. It's very exciting, right, to change jobs within Wienerberger.
No, it's fantastic. I mean, we've started, if I just look back 7 years ago, where we started the first pilots with smart water management. We did the first installation at Seestadt here in Vienna. And now it's a multi-million business. And we've built it from scratch, from basically zero. And I think that's how we have shown, what we can do, how we can change, and we're just getting started.
That's why we have such a high degree of innovative products in our turnover, and nearly 75% of our products that we sell are energy efficient for housing, for renovation, or for water. So that's, I think, a huge progress that we made. Thank you very much to your team and yourself.
Thanks.
And I only can say join into the club of the World of Wienerberger app, right?
Absolutely.
And as we are before Christmas, let's wish everybody a happy year end. And there we go with some sweets that usually are eaten in Austria anyway. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.